All right. So, Steve, why don't you go ahead and do the next introduction?
You got it. Our third vendor to present at Channel Engage is Joe Saunders, the channel partner manager at Perimeter81. They are a leading provider of secure network access solutions in Denver. They've got over a decade of cybersecurity experience, and Joe previously led security solutions teams at Pax8 for nearly 9 years. Dedicated to building partnerships and delivering top notch service, Joe drives Perimeter 81's channel initiatives with expertise. Welcome, Joe.
Welcome. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining here today and taking a look at Permit 81. A couple quick things I wanted to start out with. Permit 81 is now a part of Checkpoint. So you will see the branding out there, Checkpoint Harmony SASE. So just wanted to clear that up with some of you as we've just launched with a few different cloud marketplaces like Pax8 and Ingram Micro Marketplace in the previous years. We are now Checkpoint SASE. So quick background introduction on me. As mentioned, I was previously with Pax8, helping run their channel for the past 9 years. And recently, I came over to Perimeter 81 and Checkpoint to help build out the distribution channel. So I'm happy to connect with partners, talk about the solution offline. We will also be at Pax8 Beyond. We're really excited about the event that Rob's putting on, and come by and talk to me at the booth if you're going to be at Pax8 Beyond. But happy to connect, and we will be having a follow-up session shortly after the presentations today. So to get into what we're doing, I'm very, very excited because after spending the last 17 years at various different private and public companies in the channel, I've basically sold the entire stack to the MSPs. So all the products that we've been selling the last 20 years or so. And really this new phenomenon of SASE has become quite popular in the last 4 to 5 years, particularly once COVID hit. Everybody started to work from home, and it created a really big problem for IT administrators and end users because the IT administrators had to figure out how to deliver security to users that are now not behind the corporate firewall and working from home. So this solution really has become a pretty household name, and it stands for Secure Access Service Edge. So now we're securing the edge, which has become the internet. The internet now is the corporate backbone with the emergence of cloud applications and hybrid infrastructure, where there's premises on resources on premise and resources in the cloud. We need a singular way to access these resources and provide a better end user experience compared to the legacy ways of doing this with VPNs, which can really typically have a lot of tickets that it can create for IT administrators and a lot of dropped connections and lost productivity for the end users trying to connect from these VPNs variously from places around the world. So what we're getting into with SASE, it combines a few networking concepts. It's got an advanced VPN, a firewall, a web gateway built in, application protection, and zero trust network access, all backed by a private backbone that we'll get into that gives you, I would say, a private connection because we're purchasing these private circuits and giving you private IP addresses that you'll own to whitelist your infrastructure and cloud applications to make sure your users are securely connected and encrypted to the network end to end from our application here. So a couple of the ideal client profiles, I will say, for anybody who has regulatory compliance, this is a great solution. They've got requirements to encrypt traffic back to the network, to use a VPN. We've built out some frameworks that I can share with everybody on how we've mapped to the CIS controls. We're ISO 27001 certified, SOC 2 certified. So we typically find a lot of regulated industries, healthcare, finance, manufacturing, legal, a lot of insurance, a lot of these types of organizations will need a solution like us. But really, it's everybody today. Anybody who's got valuable intellectual property or IP that wants to protect their workers, because in most cases today, everybody's protecting the endpoint, but most folks aren't protecting the network. And that's really where we come in with Wi-Fi protection and an always-on Wi-Fi security that's built into our VPN solution. So All of our assets are hosted into a private cloud. Like I mentioned, we'll give you a private IP address and give you a private network, which is going to secure access to all of those cloud-based applications. So for customers that do have hybrid clouds, on-premise infrastructure, or the public cloud, this is an ideal type of solution for providing that access. We provide all the bandwidth included. It could even be a direct connect into Google, AWS, or Azure Cloud. And really the ideal customer profile, typically now with the Checkpoint acquisition and our SD-WAN integrations with the firewall and the SD-WAN and some of the other security solutions, we're servicing large enterprises, but our ideal customer truly is an SMB customer. So typically that 1 to 500 user range customer is typically our sweet spot. And this is where we can really save IT administrators a lot of time and money. So when selling this solution, we can really save a lot of support hours and deliver a better end user experience. And from a security standpoint, like I was mentioning, what we're doing is we're helping protect those users with our advanced VPN client, connecting from various different places, preventing them from connecting to fake and malicious Wi-Fi networks and getting their tokens stolen. We're reducing hardware by potentially getting rid of some of the branch locations, firewalls, and having all of that traffic routed through the cloud through a SASE solution back to the headquarters or the primary network. And performance, we'll talk about the backbone. We've got a VPN that is backed by about 72 POPs worldwide, so users can connect into the highest POP, and then we've got these private circuits that will give users prioritized routing and a secure encrypted connection that they're not sharing with anybody else or any other customers. So coming up in about 6 minutes here, so I want to breeze through the next couple of slides here. So how we're solving them is zero trust network security. So we're integrating the identity management into the VPN so users have a seamless single sign-on experience. We check the device for your security certificates and your security software to make sure that only secure devices are connecting into the network. And then we have a firewall in the cloud, and we're delegating access based upon those firewall policies to the correct network resources to really provide that zero trust network capability. I mentioned our global POPs. And one of the other thing is we have a very, very fast deployment. So MSPs and service providers have one pane of glass for multi-tenancy, and you can build out and create a network in as little as 15 minutes. And from an architecture standpoint, this is kind of how it looks. We've got agents for the desktop, the mobile device. We've got agentless access for unmanaged devices and contractors that you may not have security running those devices that you don't want to put onto the network. So we can publish these network accesses resources into our network and stream them similar to a virtual desktop experience. But this is the topology of it and how it looks. We're integrating the identity provider into the management console, and then we're checking those devices, and then those users are securely going to authenticate coming from that dedicated IP into the open internet, where we're protecting them with our secure web gateway and providing secure access into the public cloud or those on-premise resources. And that's really how the architecture
I was just kind of time to wrap up, if you don't mind.
Okay, so last slide here. So we will be doing another session. So we've got a few partner benefits, like I mentioned, the multi-tenant platform, free NFR licenses, deal reg. We work with all the common distributors out there. In fact, we just launched with PAX 8 in recent months. So come find me on LinkedIn and contact me anytime. And we appreciate the time today and look forward to meeting some of you MSPs out there in the future. So thanks a lot, everybody.